Hi everyone, it's Erin. Welcome to Lit Cocktail. So today, if you didn't guess from the title of this video, we're going to be reviewing and talking about Snow Like Ashes. Yay! And to get us started, I've got my red wine. Cheers. To kick it off, what do you think? First of all, I heard a lot of people talking about like the peace sign-y sort of symbol on the front, and some people liked it and some people didn't. Some people thought it looked like, I don't know, other stuff or whatever. So I personally liked the cover. I thought it was really beautiful. I always liked like the raised text on covers. It's sort of like a textural thing. I have a tactile sense. Okay, so Snow Like Ashes, it's a debut fantasy novel from author Sara Raasch, and she's apparently, from her author bio, been working on this for a really long time. So it's about kingdoms, kind of in this fantasy world she's created, and the author's created, not the girl. And it sort of stars sort of this young orphan, not young orphan, but she stars this young orphan, and she's sort of on this quest to regain her kingdom's glory, and apparently there's only a couple of them left and the rest are slaves. So they're trying to defeat this evil, and they sort of go through this whole adventure process. And we'll give away the spoilers because people were debating whether or not they saw them coming or where they were easily identified. So let me know, have you read this book? Did you see the spoilers coming? Did you not? For me, I sort of expected something similar. It seemed too convenient otherwise, or it seemed too sort of not worth telling a story if it wasn't some sort of something that was going to happen, some twist. So, overall, I liked this book a lot. It took a little bit of getting into. I started it and then I put it down. And then when I picked it up again, I definitely gave it my full attention, another shot. And it was pretty easily read within a couple days, or maybe a day and a half, something like that. I thought that the characters were believable. The main character, Mira, I don't know how you say her name. You tell me. I don't know. Miria, I don't know. What is it with authors naming their characters some like really unpronounceable names? I don't know. It's just like, you're just making it harder on us when we talk about it. I don't know. Weird. Anyways, pet peeve of mine. Anyways, so overall, I thought this was a pretty good YA. I liked that the main character was feminine without being overly feminine or overly masculine. I feel like sometimes authors who write strong female characters tend to make them really masculine, and that sort of defeats the whole purpose of having them be strong and female by taking away their femininity. Or they can go the other direction and make them too feminine and too unbelievable if they're supposed to be sort of a badass. So I think that she does a good balance in between her femininity and her badassery, so to speak. But I thought there were some parts that were a little overdone and a little like overworked. I think it could have used a little bit of, I think there was a little bit too much reminding you of certain things and sort of bringing things and like plopping them on your head. It was a little heavy-handed in certain areas, but with YA that tends to be the case. There tends to be a little bit more emphasis on bringing things together, or a message or a theme or something like that. Also, I did see one review that mentioned that the way she named her the main cities and the country, so all of the kingdoms are supposed to be representative of different seasons. Like, people were complaining that the Winter Palace in January, whatever it's called, but like January is only winter in certain countries. Like it's a very Western focused, or yeah, like North Hemisphere, versus, because you know, like January in Australia it's summertime, so but that's a small thing to me. I don't really care. So that was one complaint, and it is very Western focused, so it does have that very particular point of view. But I think it's pretty easy to look past and sort of just get on with it. But I do live in California, so that wasn't really a nitpicky thing for me. It might have been for other readers. Anyways, yeah, so this is a really good, I think this was a pretty good YA. Pretty easy fantasy. Epic kind of like high fantasy is really trendy right now. You can see a lot of that sort of female lead character, sort of magic, YA. You know, Crown of Thorns is obviously really big, as well as Red Queen and this one. So there's a lot of that coming out right now and sort of being reviewed. I think overall this one is a pretty good example. My absolute favorite of this category would have to be Graceling, which I sort of compare a lot of the YA in that category to, probably unfairly, but that's one of my absolute favorites. And I think that it does stand up really well to that one as a good counterpart in terms of offering enough of its own excitement and emotional attachment and things like that. One thing I do have to say is like the love triangle. I don't know, I sort of liked the guy that she so it starts out and she sort of has this romantic connection with the heir slash king, soon to be king of her kingdom, because they grew up together and whatnot. And then later on there's a new character that's introduced and you sort of see them fight over her a little bit and her alliances shift and she sort of has to deal with that romantic, you know, feelings between the two characters. And I don't know, which character did you like better? I kind of liked the second guy better. I don't know, he seemed kind of like, I don't know, he seemed to be like the kind of guy that I would like, because he was, you know, he was noble and princely, but he was also had his own thing going on, had his own mind and his own desires. Versus the first guy sort of like just couldn't get over his own, like, how do I get to the kingdom to work? You know, I don't know. That was just my opinion. Anyway, so that was my take. I know the sequel is coming out shortly, so I will definitely be picking up that, and I recommend you guys also tell me, what did you think? So if you've read this book, tell me what you thought, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, maybe what you like to see in the sequel. Personally, I would like to see more of, obviously, her kingdom sort of getting back on its feet, how the relationships between the kingdoms work, as well as how they're going to eventually overcome the master evil villain. I'd like to see that too. But let me know what you think down in the comments, and tell me what book you would love to see reviewed next. What books are you reading, and what books are you excited about coming out? And I will definitely check them out and see if I can jump on the reading train and review those for you guys. Alrighty, let me grab my sip of my wine because I didn't get to drink any. Alrighty. Well, cheers guys, until next time. Bye!